The somewhat resurgent 18-25 Phillies take on the 21-23 Cardinals at Citizens Bank Park here today. In this game, Ranger Suarez would be on the hill for the Phillies. ERA just over 4 in the season, 1.39 WHIP, has been pretty decent so far in his 46 innings for the Phillies this season in what is still a very young season. The Cardinals lining up as follows, as you can see there on your screen. Nothing too out of the ordinary for the Cardinals, a lineup that you could expect them to roll out in real life had baseball gone on as thought. But here in the first inning, Ranger Suarez would face Matt Carpenter with a runner on first after he was walked, and Harper would make a great running grab into the gap. And for the Cardinals on the hill would be Alex Fagade, the 25-year-old right-hander out of UC Riverside, making his major league debut for the Cardinals today. So a big day for him, and we'll see how he fares out. The Phillies lineup, we're running with the usual lineup that we will be running with for the foreseeable future, with Harper, McCutchen, Realmuto, Hoskins as the top 4 in the lineup, and Hazley in center field with his platoon with Quinn. And now Fagade walking the very first batter he will face in his major league career, Bryce Harper. So not a fantastic start for him. 2 outs now. Rhys Hoskins up to the plate. He grounds one to third, who throws over to Wong in second, and he goes to first. But actually, both runners are going to be safe, as Wong, as you can see here, missed the bag on a somewhat wild throw from the third baseman Carpenter. He throws it over to Wong. Wong handles it, and he just misses the bag with his feet. So not a great job there by Colton Wong. Now, Didi Gregorius, the next batter up. And Gregorius, the next batter, would hit into center field to line out. So Fagade gets out of some trouble in the first inning that he gets himself into. In the top of the second, Ranger Suarez comes up and he allows a hit to the first batter of the inning. So a man does get on here in the top of the second and does move over to third base, but Harrison Bader, the mostly defensive center fielder, is not able to bring him in. Gene Segura up in the bottom of the second, and here makes hard contact up the middle, but Colton Wong is there to make a play, which kind of is a theme of this game, where Fagade allowed a lot of hard contact, but the Phillies just weren't able to get them to fall for hits. Suarez back up here in the top of the third on the mound with 1 out, and he allows another single to the Cardinals with less than 2 outs in the inning. Now up Tommy Edman, another hit for the Cardinals. So 2 on here with only 1 out in the top of the third. So Suarez in a bit of danger in the third, and here 2 outs now with those same runners on first and second, and he walks Matt Carpenter. So the bases are now loaded for the Cardinals, who have Lane Thomas at the plate, but he hits a low liner to Hoskins, and he's able to handle it there at first. So Suarez gets out of a difficult jam on a pretty good play by Hoskins. McCutchen would come up in the bottom of the third, and Fagade would get one of his rare strikeouts on the day, as that was the first of his major league career, but only 1 of 4 that he get in this game. Suarez back to the mound in the top of the fourth, where he's getting a rare strikeout for himself, second strikeout of the game for him, and only 1 of 3 on the day. Fagade back on the hill in the bottom of the fourth, where he's striking out Gregorius, so another rare strikeout for him. Suarez back on the hill in the top of the fifth, where Wong hits one slowly looping into the field, and both of these guys today were allowing a lot of contact, but there was either soft contact or just hard contact that was just right at somebody. So a little bit of luck with both the starters today, as Kingery goes down for another Fagade strikeout. Suarez in the top of the sixth would get Goldschmidt to ground the third, but Segura would misplay it and then airmail it into the stands. So Goldschmidt's on second in the top of sixth, with Molina coming up to the plate, and he would line one into center, but Hazley would use that speed to get there and prevent the run from scoring. Harper up in the bottom of the sixth, leading things off, and he would square a ball up, but unfortunately hit it out to Bader in center field, so nothing is doing there. Andrew McCutchen would be the next batter in the bottom of the sixth, and he would walk. So Fagade would get a man on, which is also a common theme, as he walked 4 batters in this game. Realmuto, the next guy up, and he is hitting about a third, but will get a double play. So Fagade walks a man, but gets out of the inning on a double play. Later in the game, Robert Stock would take the mound for the Phillies coming in. He's really struggled this year, walking a lot of guys and allowing a lot of hard contact. And here in the top of the 7th, when he takes the hill for Suarez, things would go bad for him immediately as he allows a liner out to left for a Tyler O'Neill double to start out the inning in the first batter he would face. And the very next batter, Harrison Bader, the center fielder, would come up and he would line into center, and the very speedy Tyler O'Neill would come right home. The throw would be late, so the Cardinals become the first team to get on the board in the top of the 7th. Stock, another play here in the top of the 7th where he allows a hit and another run to score. So the Cardinals take a 2-run lead in the top of the 7th. The first run scored in this game, as you can see. Pretty hype for that hit there. Now Stock would be able to get out as Goldschmidt would come up and just be looking in the top of 7th. Here in the bottom of 7th, the Rhys Hoskins would hit a no-doubt home run for the Phillies here. The first hit of the game in the first run of the game for the Phillies. That's right. Alex Faggalde in his Major League debut took a no-hitter into the 7th inning, where he was no-hit until Hoskins came up in the 7th and hit this homer. But, of course, only 4 strikeouts on the day, so a lot of it was kind of his fielders making great plays in the field for him. And that Hoskins homer would be the end of his Major League debut. So he goes 4 walks and 4 strikeouts and 6 1/3 after Hoskins hits a solo homer to start the 7th. And after Faggalde made his Major League debut, they would turn to the hard-throwing Jordan Hicks in this one. Would have been very good for them so far. Walking a lot of guys, though. 18 walks to 25 strikeouts, so not allowing a lot of runs, but definitely walking a lot of guys. So Gregorius would be the next man up in the 7th, and he would hit one deep out to right center field, and that one would not quite be able to stretch over the wall, as that is caught in the warning track by the right fielder right there. Segura would come up, being the very next batter with 1 out, and he would hit 1 out to right. But unfortunately, that one would be right at the right fielder, making another play, so some more hard contact, just not falling for the Phillies. Jose Alvarez would be handed the 8th for the Phillies. Only 6 innings pitched so far in the game. 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. Has been very good at preventing runs in his very limited time with the Phillies. This year, Molina would come up to the plate and single with 2 outs in the inning, as Alvarez got the first 2 outs, but he would get out of it here as Tyler O'Neill, and he would actually walk, so Alvarez would get into a bit of trouble. Now Bader does come up, and he is just looking at the fastball, so Bader did have an RBI hit earlier in the game, but not able to do anything there. The Cardinals would hand the 8th to Andrew Miller, who has not been fantastic this year. Not a good ERA, but has struck out a decent amount of guys in his 13 innings pitched, 22 strikeouts there for the Phillies, and he'd be called upon to get some big left-handers in the Phillies lineup out, including Bryce Harper, who'd strike out on a slider outside of the zone. Adam Morgan would be handed the ball in the 9th for the Phillies, and he would get his man there to strike out and would also walk Tommy Edman here in the top of the 9th, so allowing a runner on base in a very close 2-1 game, and walking another guy in Paul Goldschmidt. So 2 runners on with 2 outs. 1 scoring position for Carpenter, but the lefty-on-lefty matchup, the left-handed pitcher wins on the mound. In the 9th inning, the Cardinals would count on John Brebbia to get the save for them. Very good so far, sub-2 ERA. In the 18 innings he has pitched, but things would go bad for him right from the start. He would walk Andrew McCutchen, the very first batter. Cardinals manager looking on, not pleased. Second batter of the inning, JT Realmuto coming up, also a walk. So Brebbia walks the first 2 batters of the game and puts them on. Unbelievable. And Rhys Hoskins would come up next and hit a dribbler that doesn't even get to the mound. Brebbia comes up and makes the play, but runners would advance on the weak infield ball put in play. Next up, Gregorius, and the Cardinals are going to intentionally walk him to create a force at any base for the Cardinals to try to get out of this one, and putting Gregorius on to leave Gene Segura as the next batter for the Phillies, who is 0 for 3 in this game. And that decision would not pay off for them, as Segura would single up the middle anyway, bringing home 1 run, as the runner would be held at third, preventing him getting thrown out to the ground, very hype on that play. Kingery would come up in the bottom of the ninth next, then he would walk it off. A line drive into the gap. Those line drives could not get down for the Phillies all day, but it gets down right there against John Brebbia, the Cardinals closer. So the Phillies walk it off in a 3-2 dramatic victory for the Phillies, as Alex Fagolde does not get the win in his major league debut. Another look here at the Kingery single right into the right center gap. Brebbia left one right over the middle for him, and he delivered for the Phillies, giving them the win. Fantastic job by Kingery there, walking it off for the Phillies. And that is going to be the end of this episode, and I will see you guys next time.